Hi guys, welcome to Only If. Today I would like to share a story with you guys. So if you are here for this story, let's go. I'm going to ask, this story is going to be called, Is It God? So to start the story, I'm going to do a little bit of a backstory, just a little to get to the good stuff. So 35 years ago, my sister told me that God talked to her. And after that day, it changed her life. And I always said, well, God's never talked to me. I've been on this earth 43 years and God hasn't said a word. I'm like, am I doing everything okay? That he doesn't need to talk to me? Am I not listening? Like, why hasn't God talked to me? And if you have asked that question to yourself as well, maybe this story can help you a little bit. I do want to let you know that along the way of this story, I felt like I'm still questioning why. So I'm at work. I started to work 11 to 8 and I'm at work. There's two other people with me. There's a cashier and then there's a server. And I was the manager on duty. So at this particular time, I was in the back of the house, like in the office area. So customers couldn't see me. I come up to the front, I was working. And I see two customers that I know before. Like, I don't know them by name, but their face looks familiar, like they've been in before. So I'm like, hi, happy new year. How are you? Talking to the young girl. There's a girl and a guy that is in the restaurant that comes in together. The guy was kind of like further back by the door. And he says, Happy New Year. And I'm like, well, is it going to be a good year or a bad year? And he's like, the man upstairs has a plan. So he thinks it's going to be a good year. And he goes on, like very churchy, like, right? And I'm okay with that. I'm there for it. So I'm listening to him. Then he begins to open his wallet. And at this point, they already ordered their food. My staff have already helped them. I'm like, looking at him like, what are you doing? So he begins to give me money and I'm like, no. I'm not going to take your money. We discussed that I've been there for 20 years and I don't know, just about what 2025 had in store for me and him and whatever. Anyway, at this point, he says, God has told him to give me money. He goes in his wallet and basically he tries to give me every dollar that he had in his wallet. Now, the amount of the money don't matter, but I will tell you at the end of the video. Anyway, he goes in his wallet and I can see him. He's standing in front of me. He goes in his wallet and he basically pulls all his money out. Again, I'm like, no, sir, you don't have to give me money. It's fine. And I felt more like I didn't want his money because it's not like I served him and I helped him and he was giving me a big tip or something. Like, my cashier took his order. My server served the food. I did anything. I did nothing. So I didn't feel like I deserved any money. I'm like, why? So he tells me again, God told me to give you this money. And he begins to like take the money and I'm just going to take an example. And he balls it up like this. And he says, you're not supposed to be tight with money. You're supposed to give. And in order for you to receive, you have to give. God's telling me to give you this money. So he balled it up at that point, but he is now unballed it. And he says, I want you to have this money. God is calling me to give it to you. And then he gives me the money. Now, oh my God. So at this point, I'm in shock, still in my mind, trying to figure out why is this man giving me all the money in his wallet? So I'm like, well, can I at least give you a hug? Like, this is crazy. So he says, yes. I go around the counter. I give him a hug. The girl that he's with is just standing there. She's been standing there just looking at me. And again, I talked to her as well when she came in. I actually greeted her first. So I give him a hug and he just says that this time, this interaction is meant for him and for I. So at this point, he leaves and me and my two staff members are trying to figure out what the heck just happened. because I'm lost. Anyway, during that whole time of him going back and forth, he did say, like, I have just great energy. And me and my staff members, they were there the whole time. I was like, I wish someone would have recorded it, because honestly, I was so like in awe and trying to figure out like what was going on to, I don't know, maybe I'm not recalling it, but to me, it was God speaking to me. So my cashier says, you know what, you just need to pay it forward and do for someone else. And I think it's because growing up, I didn't have anything. And there was a lot of time in my life that I suffered. Like I went without. We didn't have beds. Sometimes we didn't have lights. Sometimes we didn't have food. And I do think I struggle with the dollar, about saving the dollar, about spending the dollar, and making the dollar seem so much more important than it is. Now, having money is important, but it isn't everything. And I think God was trying to tell me to not have anxiety about my retirement, about my sabbatical, and about my life, and that he is going to see me through it and provide the things that I need to provide, and I don't need to be worried as much about the dollar. That is what I think I got from this whole interaction. I do think that I feel like I need to be a little bit more giving towards strangers, just because in the past, before this interaction, I have to be honest, I don't give to the homeless. I just don't. I feel like I work way too hard for my money. I've been struggling since I was born, and I just don't give to strangers like on the street. I am a GM. I've been a manager for most of my life. So a lot of times if a homeless person asks me for something, I'll offer them a job or tell them they can wash my dishes and I'll give them a free meal or something like that, which even that is dangerous because you don't know the state of mind that they're in, but at least we're in a public space. Anyway, that's neither here or there. I talked to my sister about this. I talked to my mom and, of course, my coworkers about this story, and I am still in awe. So I'm asking you, do you think that that was God? Did God send this man into my store for me to get these lessons? Or do you think it was by accident? And my sister believes that it was God, after 43 years, that God sent him to tell me this and to teach me this lesson. So I don't know if it was God. I don't know if this man is God-like. Is he Jesus-like? Because he definitely was an angel tonight, because I didn't need the money, and I actually put the money into in my job. All of our money's going to a pool, and it goes to hourly employees. So that money will be given to my staff. I'm salary, so I wouldn't even get the money. So in some instance, I guess I did pay it forward, but it wasn't about the money again. It was about the whole interaction and what I think God was trying to tell me. And I needed to listen. And for him, maybe the money and the interaction would not make a lasting impression. But for me, I think the story is going to be in my heart forever. Anyway, if you stayed to know how much money it was $35. He gave me $35 out his wallet. It was everything that he had in his wallet. And he said that if he had more, he would have given me that. So in the comments below, let me know, have you had a God story? Do you give to the homeless? And what do you think about my story? Was it God or was it an accident? So that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.